Good morning, everyone. It is Sue here. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to start on something a little bit different, something easy, relaxing, and it is actually something that I'm going to follow Carol from Wonky Stitching with Carol. She just started a new project and, invited people to stitch along with her. And, I was just feeling like I needed another project to work on since I just finished a few of my projects. So, yeah, so I decided I'm going to do this along with Carol. So I'll have her link in my description box. Check her out. I've known Carol for years. And yes, awesome lady. And so I started getting my pages together. And I'm like, you know what? Let me turn my camera on because so everybody, so that you can see kind of where I'm going. We'll look at this stuff later. And I first want to, like I say, show you what I'm doing as far as my pages go. So I have a lot of this linen fabric. This linen fabric, in reality, is a very stiff fabric. And it's meant for like cross stitching. So I received a whole bunch of it from someone here in town that was getting rid of it. It was something that her mother always used. So I'm like, oh, well, let me wash it and see if it, turns out any better. Will it get soft? Well, I can tell you, yes, it does get soft, but it also ends up fraying quite a bit, and it wrinkles a lot. So let me see if I can show you an example here. So like this was a piece that was stiff and everything, looked perfect, and then I washed it and then all of this happened. But this piece right here looked pretty much like this. So I was able to iron it. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. And because I have so much of it, I want to use this for this journal. So I'm going to stick with neutral colors, pull in some browns and maybe some deep yellows, that kind of colorway. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm also thinking that I want to do 6 inches by 6 inches or around there. Now that can change as I'm cutting these pages. But that's like just over 15 centimeters by just over 15 centimeters. So I've already cut this one to 6 inches. And I have this one marked at 6 inches. I have to cut this. And let's see how long this is. So in order for it to be 6, square, it would have to be 6 by 6. Well, I can see that this is slightly longer. It's probably, 14, well, it's 2 inches longer than it, well, it's actually, if I cut this in half, it's about 1 inch longer than it should be, but that's all right. I'm going to go ahead, before I cut this, I'm not going to cut that yet because I'm also thinking of doing an accordion style journal. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I don't know if that's what I'm actually going to do or not. So maybe I won't cut that. But I do have to decide rather like quickly, like in a few minutes. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just eyeballing it and giving it the straightest cut that I can without stressing out over it. Yeah, so you guys know, I try not to stress over such things. Okay, so now in reality, if I took this, which is double, and fold it in half, it's actually very much like my December daily, my December journal that I'm working on. But I don't know that I want to do it the same. But then that's why I'm kind of thinking about the whole, accordion style, which would be a lot of fun. Ha. But anyway, so now at this point I have 4 pages, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 4, so that makes 8. So right now I have 8 pages that I can use, or you can even think about it as 2 signatures. What do I want to do? Again, I want it easy. So with my December journal, I have pages bigger than this, but they're like this, and I'm working on panels that I'm going to sew onto each page. But I don't want to do that for this. I want to do something different. I'm feeling more like, well, do I want to sew directly? So Carol, she is sewing directly onto her pages. And maybe that's what I need to do as well. And I can also, no, I would cut it then. I would cut. All right, we're going to go ahead and cut. Okay. Decision made. We're going to cut this apart. Because like I said, I want to try to follow along with what Carol's doing. Because, I just want something that I don't have to think about. So I'm going to let Carol think about it. And tell me what to do, which is, not my go-to thing, but I'm going to go with it. All right, so now I can take these pins out because I don't need them together anymore. So now I have these pages. So I know what Carol's going to do. She's, putting her fabric, sewing them down on each page. Then she's going to take 2 completed pages and sew them together. You know what? I'm going to do that too. Why not? Okay, so if I use this as my first page. All right, let me share with you first the things that I've pulled out to use. So I do have this fabric right here, which I love. So it's a very neutral fabric, but super pretty, right? It has, berries on it and leaves, but it's very neutral. So I'm loving that. I also, I have this dress, and it was my daughter's. Let me grab a cough drop real quick here. Otherwise, my voice goes a little strange. Okay, so I have this dress that will never be worn again. I mean, it's from, over 10 years ago anyway, but I love it. So I want to pull this in, and you can see there's a little bit of a deep yellow in these flowers. So I want to use that. I have this, which I tea dyed. I did not do this stitching. I think my aunt did. I think it is, what is it called? That kind of stitching. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, so I thought like this yellow here would look pretty. I can, I can deal with a little bit of green. I like the color of this, tea dyed. So I'd like to pull in that. And then I have these pieces of I don't know what they are. Well, this one is a doily, obviously. I have just different pieces here that I'll either Well, I mean, I'd like to use them or part of them, but we'll see. You know, whatever works, works. But I do have a good amount of that set to the side. I have this bin of what I call like my medium size doilies and that kind of stuff. So I have, this is tatting. This is absolutely gorgeous. Maybe I'll put this on the cover of this journal because it is stunning. Yeah, all right, I need to remember that. But I have all different kinds of lacy bits in here, all kinds of doilies. So I will be going into this probably quite a bit. I do have this. You know what? Let me move this stuff from underneath here. But we are going to start. I do want to get pinning some stuff onto this first page. So this right here, like this is beautiful. This would like look really, really, really good. I think I tea-dyed this. But I can, you know, pull in the white and everything as well. So I have a bunch of laces and stuff here. So that's kind of like my medium size stuff. I do have my bin of smaller pieces. So I'm all about the whole lace and neutral, right? So that's kind of my whole thought process. And I do have, so if I do more pages than the 4 that I have cut now, I do have another piece of this linen fabric that I had washed. Like, look at those edges. I mean, they're awesome, actually, but it's a lot. But I have this out to make more pages if need be. Because like I said, I really want to use this stuff because, well, since I washed it, I don't know, it became a little bit of a mess. All right, so let's focus on this for a moment. So I think what I'm going to do is just tear a piece of this, right? We're just going to start. And then I can always make it smaller. Okay. So now I have this. And I think what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and just cut that down. And let's start with that. You know what? I'm going to actually pull in another piece, but I don't want it so wide, or as wide, I should say. So I'm first gonna cut it like that. And then I just want a strip of this. And I do like the edge with the fraying. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. You know, no rhyme or reason at the moment in my head. I did leave the salvage edge on there. Okay. That's a good start, right? It's as good as any. It is as good as any. All right. So let's see. Let's see. This even has a stretchy lining. I don't know what I can use that for. I could actually pull in some of that. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut this. You know, short of me cutting it, I mean, what would I do with this? There is nothing that I could do with this dress. So I'm A-okay with cutting it. It's not easy to cut though. Well, because it's not flat. So I'm just gonna go cut some off and then we can work with it. Okay. All right. So let's see. I really like, see the flowers running right there? I do want to grab those. But I don't need anything this big. Wow, this is hard because it's so pretty. All right, I'm going to cut this off. And this will be a really nice piece for somewhere in this journal. Why not? I really like it because I love all the flowers on that. Now, will it get covered at some point? Probably. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Okay, so what? Let me see. Let me pull in some of this. So I think what I want to do is kind of go in the middle here with this. So I'm going to cut here. And cut that along the bottom. Now, I have to think, do I want to leave this or do I want to make it straight? You know what? I want to leave it. I like it. All right, so now we have this side of the page. I'm not really sure what to use there. Let me just look. I'm going to pull out some of my fabrics and let's take a look. All right. So I do have, I just pulled these out of my closet. So let's look through these. Well, it's got blue. Don't think I want to pull that in. This is gorgeous. This is for like, that's a project in itself. That's for another day. But something like this is good. I can even pull in a darker brown. This I could use, but I'm not absolutely loving it. This is nice. This is a little piece of chenille that I had tea dyed. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, let me just look at these pieces. I kind of like that chenille. So let's go ahead and cut a piece of this. And okay. And up here. Again, I'm going to save all, oops, that was really crooked. I'm going to save all these pieces for other pages. Let's see. Let's see. No, I wanted this fraying to show. So let's put that under there. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to cut that. Let me pull this over where it was. And this can go here. Like that. And I don't want it to be bulky in the center here because that's going to be our spine. Okay. I like that. Okay, good. So now I need to pull in another piece, which I do have this. So let's cut this. And, okay, it's way too wide. So I'm gonna first cut it lengthwise, and then this way. Okay, so now I have that. Okay, I like it. I'm loving the colors. Exactly what I had in my mind. Okay, so now what can we add to that? I don't know. I don't know. I did not put a lot of thought into this, as you can tell, before turning on the camera. But that's okay because we're kind of doing this together. So I'm just going to pull out some pieces here. I mean, it looks like I'm leaning towards the darker pieces, which is fine. Absolutely fine. All right, so let's see. I kind of like this piece. I guess it depends. See, what I'm not super clear on at the moment is what I'm going to be doing with these pages, right? So, like, I like that. But that's not a completed page, right? So, I guess in my head, I'm trying to figure out what else I'm going to end up putting on here. And I don't know the answer to that. I guess I have to wait for Carol to give more input on, like, what, I guess is my question, like, what will be the focal piece of each of these pages? Or, you know, I don't know. So I don't know the answer to that, which normally I do, because normally when I make a journal or anything stitched, it's just from my own head. So I'm trying to get into Carol's head. Now I do follow along with the Roxy journal stitchery, so that I do. Yeah. But I've done a few of their projects over the past 3 years, so I get where they're coming from. But I don't know exactly where Carol's going with this. So that I'm going to leave as my first page. So it will go, well, it can go like this or like this. And I kind of like that. That's super pretty, isn't it? Like, I like that. I like it a lot. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here, and I'll do some stitching. And I will be back with another video, and we will continue on. And be sure to check out Carol. And yeah, this is going to be fun. This is nice. This is nice. This is exactly what I need right now. Something easy and something that somebody's going to tell me what I need to do. All right. And that's not what Carol's trying to do. She's giving you your options to do whatever you want with the journal. But that's just coming from me. I've decided to really follow along with what she's doing. So that's my decision. All right. So that's it. So let me know if you have any questions, and thank you so much for being here. God bless. Bye-bye.